What does ASCCA stand for? Why do you exist, and what's your objective?
Well, ASCCA was started because we could see that the internet was too good to miss. And we wanted older people to be able to make use of the technology that was going to be available. We wanted to form a network of clubs across Australia, but we needed those clubs to be autonomous. We needed them to address the needs and interests of their individual members, because every area is slightly different. You can't set up an organisation that says, you will do A, you will do B, and then you will follow with C. You've got to arrange it in a way that's going to suit that community. It's going to have to benefit that community. And ASCCA's aim is to try and encourage older Australians, seniors, to actually explore and enjoy the satisfaction and benefits of using technology. And the NBN is promising a lot, and we want to take advantage of what you're offering, and we want it to fit what we need.
Tell me about your members. How many members do you have? And
well, we probably have about 10,000 seniors learning how to use technology at the one time. Mm-hmm. We have clubs in every state of Australia. We have, last 2 years, we've been expanding in Western Australia and Northern Territory this year. And we are using video conferencing to try and reach the more remote areas, because there are disadvantages just by the distance of Australia. And that's where you've got to come in.
Absolutely.
That's where the NBN's got to be able to, those promises have got to come true. Well, I was very pleased to have the opportunity to ask my members if they had questions to ask the NBN. And here are some of those questions, and now perhaps you'll answer them to me. Now, how do I check when my address is ready to be connected to the NBN?
So the simple way of doing this is to visit our website, the nbn.com.au. Front and centre, as soon as you get on our website, is a piece that says enter your address and check residential or check business. So what you want to be able to do is punch your address into that little dialog box. It will self-populate. So as you're typing your address, it'll bring the address up in there. So you don't have to worry about spelling street in its full term. If it's in there as ST, it already populates that for you.
Good.
Check residential and it will return a result. And that result will be, it's available to you now. And then you can check a little button which takes you to the provider page. So you can talk about your retail service provider, who's the telephone company or broadband company that you work with. If it's not available for you, what you will get is a date for when that service will be available to you.
And I'm picking up from what you're saying that we actually deal with a telco, not with you.
Correct. So NBN is a wholesaler. So if you think about an energy provider, you don't deal directly with us, but you'll go through a retail provider, which is your telephone or internet company typically. So whilst we're building the network and maintaining the network, the relationship you will have is with what we call a retail service provider.
Well, that's important for us to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, to that point, the other way you can find out whether the service is available to you, if you don't want to go to the NBN website, you can contact your current phone or internet provider and they can do the check for you.
Do I have to switch to the NBN access network?
It's a very good question. So in most cases, yes. So 93% of the country is being delivered NBN via fixed line technology. So that's the lines which will physically connect you with the network to your house. The other 7% is what we call satellite services or fixed wireless services. And so the way you know about that is if you go onto the NBN website to check your address, it will tell you what type of service you have, and it will deliver that message to you in terms of having to connect or not. If you are in a fixed line service, from the time we make the service readily available to you to connect, you've got 18 months to make the switch.
All right.
So we give you 18 months to become familiar with the concept of having to switch. We know that different people process the forced migration, as it were, in different ways. Some people will jump very, very quickly at it. Others need to be more considered in their approach. So you have 18 months to make the switch. Gives you a lot of time to talk to your friends, your family.
If I have a medical alarm, is it going to work?
It's important to check. So not all devices will work on the NBN network. So it's important to check with your provider as to whether it will work or not. There is a medical alarm register that we hold within NBN code, and that's for monitored medical alarms.
Yes.
So if you have seen your practitioner and there's a serious health risk, where it is monitored and is flagged with us, then we would already potentially know about you.
Right.
But the way to do that, again, through the NBN website or talk to your provider and get yourself on that list if there's a diagnosed medical condition. There is a subsidy scheme at the moment that NBN Co is championing, which allows the seniors to sit there and have surety of mind if they have to go out and purchase another device which makes it compatible, then it's subsidised.
Oh, that's excellent. That's really good. I've had many reports of scams using the NBN name. Whoops, do they?
Yes, quite prolific. And so what we often see, this happens in two waves, is scammers typically follow our rollout and speak to unsuspecting people as we're rolling out the network, or they tend to be broadcast in certain areas. The thing to understand here is that NBN is a wholesaler and we don't have a commercial relationship with a customer or an end user. And within that there, it means that we will never ask for your personal information, nor will we ask or solicit money from yourselves.
We're pretty keen never to give that information.
Absolutely.
On the phone or on the line.
Absolutely. So what we encourage people to do there is if you suspect that people are asking for your questions and they're representing themselves as NBN, is not to give that information forward. If they are putting themselves forward as a telecommunications provider, hang up from that call if they think a suspect and ring that provider back, or you can then contact ScamWatch and register the complaint and take it forward.
Is there any particular problem that we need to know about if there's a power outage?
Yes, with the NBN network, our services won't work during a power outage.
Oh.
So it's very different to your traditional telephone line that you would have otherwise had up until NBN. So what we encourage our end users to do is have a charged mobile phone or an alternative source of communication charged on the ready in case of a power outage.
Some of our seniors are not too keen on using the internet. They rely on a landline. How are they going to manage?
Okay, so Australia's broadband network, by virtue of it being broadband, let's not have that discourage people. It is for broadband as well as a telephone service. So if there's anyone out there that doesn't want to have broadband, that's okay. You can still use the NBN for your telephony needs.
Right. I'll be fairly keen to encourage them to use the internet because I think it's too good to miss.
Fantastic.
Well, I was very pleased to have the opportunity to ask my members if they had questions to ask the NBN.